Are you someone who is considering a career change? Are you in graduate school but you don't want to stay in academia? Are you a college student who's considering career options after graduation? Are you considering UX research as an option? Then this video is for you. Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Serap. I'm a user experience researcher. I'm currently not working, but I know a lot about UX. I'm going to talk about 7 things that you can do to increase the likelihood of getting a job in the UX research field. Let's get started. 1. Understanding experimental design. If you haven't taken a class on experimental research design, I highly recommend doing that. If you've already graduated, look into it. If you have the knowledge and terminology of experimental design, then you're going to have an advantage. Not only you need to understand what experimental design is, how to design experiments to test certain hypotheses, you will also learn the terminology and understand dependent and independent variables, what confounding variables are, how to avoid them. So this is extremely important. You also will learn how to read scientific papers with a critical lens. User experience research is not scientific research, but you will be doing research and understanding its foundations is critical. 2. You need to have a working knowledge of statistics. Especially, you need to understand descriptive and inferential statistics. You don't have to be an expert in them, but you need to be able to make use of them. If you're going to be a quantitative researcher, then you have to be an expert in statistics. You need to also learn some coding language, such as R, MATLAB, or Python, or SQL. SQL stands for Standard Querying Language, and it's used to query large data sets. So if you want to be a quantitative researcher, you need to know how to handle large data. Large data here refers to millions of records. This is important because you will end up doing telemetry analysis, and telemetry data is really large data, and you need to be able to query it and get insights from it. 3. You need to understand UX research methods. There are various methods, qualitative and quantitative, and you should understand each of them. You should know when to use them and when not to choose them. You should also understand pros and cons of each research method. A lot of research methodology can be used in a lot of different cases, but circumstances changes which one is the most appropriate. How much time you have, how many resources you have, also what kind of things that you have access to determines what kind of research you're going to choose. So you really need to understand the methods properly. You don't need to go to school to learn these methods. You can buy books. I'm going to link some books that I like in the description. If you're interested, just buy those or 1 or 2 of them, and you can learn from that. If you don't want to buy books, that's also okay. You can try to get a certification by taking classes, or you can do a master's degree. But again, you don't need to. I feel like the cheapest option of learning would be through books. 4. Understanding business terminology and having a business acumen. This is extremely important, and a lot of UX researchers don't have this. So if you understand how business decisions are made, how business strategy is determined, then you're going to have a leg up. Because knowing this will help you understand an organization's competitive edge, how they make money, and how they increase their revenue. And that is an extremely important thing for you to know, because your job as a user experience research will be to help business grow. 5. You have to understand how to communicate with your stakeholders and how to communicate with your teammates and how to work in a team environment. This is a cliche maybe, but collaboration is an extremely important aspect of UX research. Also, you will need to learn how to deal with difficult situations because, well, regardless of your job title, you will encounter some difficult personalities. Researchers can face a lot of adversity at times. If it's not adversity, challenging situations, so you need to understand how to mitigate these, and you need to know how to understand your stakeholders and your teammates so that you can work with them harmoniously. You should have an understanding of how to manage difficult work relationships. 6, you need to know how to communicate your research results. This includes writing good reports. This includes preparing good and convincing presentations. Storytelling is important. However, when it comes to user experience research, more concise, the better. And you want to tell your stakeholders your most important findings, and you have to interpret the findings for them and give them actionable recommendations. Otherwise, your research is not going to be as impactful as you would like. And 7, practicing the craft, the skills that you're learning is important. So, if you're a student, either in graduate school or undergraduate, try to get an internship as a user experience researcher. Try to do pro bono work for different organizations, nonprofits. You can do usability studies. You can practice the methods that you learn because practice makes better. You can also look into getting contractor jobs. So these are not full-time employment, but it can have a limited time period, like 6 months contract. That could be a good way of gaining experience because experience then becomes really important for user experience jobs and postings, and you will see people will be looking for 3 years experience, etc. But in order to have some advantage, you should try to build some kind of portfolio so that you can show that you understand the field, you have what it takes to be successful. If you're interested in getting into user experience research field and you need someone's help, especially if you're a college student or if you are in academia and want to start working in the industry and you need to talk to someone and want some coaching, then feel free to reach out to me. My email address is in my description. I may be able to give you feedback on your resume or help you prepare for an interview. I worked as a user experience research manager and I've hired people, and I have wide experience, and so I have a really good grasp of what the employers are looking for at a user experience researcher at different levels. That's it for this video. Thank you so much. If this was helpful to you, please subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.